Welcome to another episode of Drums of the Storyteller, where every tale comes alive with lessons, adventure, and inspiration. Today's story is one you don't want to miss, a captivating journey of transformation and self-discovery. So sit back, relax, and let the rhythm of the storyteller's drum guide you through the tale of riches to reality, Adaobi's awakening. Let's begin. Meet Adaobi, a 20-year-old young woman living in the bustling city of Lagos. Adaobi has everything she could ever want: a spacious apartment in a high-rise, the latest designer clothes, and a social media feed full of glamorous selfies. But behind the glitz and glamour lies a harsh truth. Adaobi has never had to lift a finger for herself. From breakfast to laundry, her housekeeper handles it all. She lives the life of a party, hanging out with friends, and never worked a day in her life. One morning, Adaobi lounges on her plush velvet couch, scrolling through her phone. Her inbox is filled with invitations to exclusive events, and she grins as she orders an expensive meal via a food delivery app. The doorbell rings, and her housekeeper brings in the food while Adaobi barely looks up. Her father calls, but she only half listens as he reminds her, "Adaobi, you're not a child anymore. It's time to find purpose." She rolls her eyes and mutters, "Daddy, life is too short to stress." Little does she know, her life is about to change drastically. Later that evening, Adaobi's family gathers for dinner at an upscale restaurant. The air is filled with the clinking of glasses and soft jazz music, but the atmosphere at their table is tense. Her father clears his throat and says, "The economy is bad and our business is struggling. We need to make some changes." Adaobi looks up, puzzled, her fork hovering midair. "What does that have to do with me?" she asks, her tone dripping with indifference. Her mother interjects, "It means the free ride is over. You'll need to learn to take care of yourself. We can no longer afford to support your lifestyle." Adaobi's jaw drops. "You're joking, right? How am I supposed to survive without help?" Her parents exchange a look before her father responds, "You'll figure it out. Life outside these walls is tougher than you think." Adaobi sits in stunned silence as the realization sinks in. The next day, Adaobi is dropped off at her new home, a modest apartment in a bustling neighborhood. The contrast is shocking. Gone are the sparkling chandeliers and velvet sofas. Instead, she's greeted by peeling paint, a tiny kitchen, and squeaky windows that barely shut. Adaobi surveys the space in disbelief. "This can't be my life," she mutters, dropping her designer suitcase onto the scuffed floor. Determined to maintain her lifestyle, Adaobi spends her allowance on expensive takeout and trendy decor. By the end of the week, she's broke. A clogged sink and an empty fridge leave her in tears. "Why is this happening to me?" she wails, sitting on the floor with her phone, searching for quick fixes to her problems. Adaobi's struggles are only beginning. She heads to the supermarket but forgets her shopping list and ends up buying unnecessary items. At the laundromat, she shrinks her favorite dress by using the wrong settings. Public transportation proves to be a nightmare as she's jostled and squeezed during rush hour, arriving home exhausted and frustrated. One afternoon, as she struggles to open a stubborn jar of peanut butter, a kind neighbor, Auntie Funmi, knocks on her door. "My dear, I've noticed you've been having a hard time," she says warmly. Auntie Funmi offers to teach Adaobi basic life skills. Together, they tackle cooking, laundry, and budgeting. Adaobi burns her first batch of rice and struggles to fold her clothes properly, but Auntie Funmi's patience and encouragement keep her going. One day, Auntie Funmi invites Adaobi to a community center where volunteers serve meals to the homeless. The bustling kitchen is filled with laughter and the clatter of pots and pans. At first, Adaobi is hesitant, worried about her manicure and the unfamiliar environment. But as she listens to the stories of those less fortunate, she begins to feel a shift in her perspective. She meets a young girl named Zainab who dreams of becoming a chef. "I want to cook like you one day," Zainab says, mistaking Adobe's clumsy efforts for expertise. The comment warms Adobe's heart and sparks a desire to do better. Inspired by her experience at the community center, Adaobi decides to turn her life around. She creates a budget and sticks to it. She starts cooking meals at home, following online tutorials. One evening, she burns a pot of stew and laughs at her own mistake, realizing how far she's come. Adaobi starts a blog to document her journey, sharing tips and lessons she's learned along the way. "If I can do it, so can you," she writes in her first post. Slowly but surely, her audience grows, with many readers inspired by her transformation. Months later, Adaobi invites her parents over for dinner. They arrive skeptical but curious. To their surprise, they find a beautifully set table and a delicious home-cooked meal waiting for them. "Adaobi, this is impressive," her father says, savoring the meal. She smiles and replies, "Thank you for pushing me. I needed it." Her father offers her a position in the family business starting from the bottom. "You've earned it," he says, beaming with pride. Back at the family business, Adaobi works diligently, earning the respect of her colleagues. She learns the value of hard work and perseverance. Meanwhile, her blog gains traction, inspiring young people to embrace responsibility and self-reliance. At the community center, Adaobi mentors Zainab, helping her achieve her dream of becoming a chef. The video ends with Adaobi reflecting, "Sometimes life's toughest lessons lead to the greatest transformations." Adaobi's story reminds us that growth often comes from discomfort. Life can be unpredictable, and the comforts we take for granted may not always last. But in these challenges, we find the strength to adapt, learn, and grow. Adaobi's journey teaches us the importance of humility and staying open to learning no matter where life takes us. So embrace the twists and turns of your path. They might just lead to a better version of yourself. What challenges have shaped you? Share your thoughts and lessons in the comments below.